it's Nicole. Welcome to my channel. So today's video is something that is very exciting. I have my polishes for the October polish pickup. Yay! So if you are new and you have no idea what polish pickup is, I will have all the information down in the description box as well as over on my blog post. But in short, it is a monthly indie collaboration between many handmade indie brands. There are a variety of products available each month. Again, all the information down in the description box. I have quite a few things to share with you all today, but before we get into that, if you are new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to get notified when I upload a new video. This is a newer channel and I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribed. Also, just if you are new to the channel, Also, if you are new to the channel, I also do comparisons generally each month. If there's anything in this video that you would like compared to another polish, just let me know. I have quite a few polishes in my collection. Oh, and I almost forgot, in the description box, I also have timestamps for everything in the video. So, if you want to skip ahead to something else, you don't want to listen to me talk, whatever, down in the description box you will find timestamps. So yeah, let's just get into the video.
First up is 1422 Designs with What Lurks Below. 1422 Designs was inspired by the legend of the creature lurking in the depths of Torch Lake, Michigan. And this is described as a mulberry jelly with a blue to purple micro flaky, as well as iridescent flakes. This is priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 100 bottles. This polish had a beautiful jelly formula. As you can see here, it does start off on the more sheer side, so you're definitely going to want to build this one up for opacity. I found in 3 coats that this wasn't quite the color that I was seeing in the bottle, and apologies for this little wiggle shot here. I forgot to hit record when I was doing my 3rd coat, so that's what I recorded instead. So I'm showing this one in 3 coats. The flakes all spread out very evenly and easily on their own without giving off any texture. You still will want top coat to give this a nice glossy finish, and I found the top coat definitely makes those flakies really pop more. Have some visible nail line with this polish, so it will be sheer enough that you could definitely pair it with another polish for a more opaque finish or a blurring base coat. Next up is BCB Lacquers with NYX. BCB Lacquers was inspired by some fan art of NYX, the goddess of night, and this polish is described as an orchid purple with a strong gold to purple shift and holographic. It's priced at $13 for 16.5 ml and has a cap of 200 bottles. NYX had a really great formula. The shimmer in this is extremely strong. This polish just glows on the nail. This is a little bit brush strokey when it's wet, but I'd say like 99% of them do disappear as the polish dries. So I accidentally did a really thick coat on my live swatch nail. So all my other nails show this polish in 3 coats. My middle nail is in 2 coats with 1 thicker coat. So this one is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on how thick of a coat you go in for. Nothing in here will be difficult to remove, and I did not experience any staining.
Hey, so you'll be seeing my face throughout the whole video for the products, by the way. So now we have the BCB Lacquers Whipped Sugar Scrub. This was one of my favorite things that I reviewed last month, and this month again. This is absolutely fantastic. So you can see here, I used a little bit here, but this looks so pretty. I'll put pictures here. I don't know why I'm showing you like this. So this month, the scent, this one is called Dark Mist, and the scent notes are ozone, citrus, ackee berries, cherry, plum, blossoms, pear, juniper, basil, mint, and agave. So this, oh, it smells so good. So the scent that I'm picking up is like a very light berry scent with ozone. Yeah, I'm smelling just in like a hint of mint. It doesn't smell minty at all. It's just like a hint that freshness that mint has. It has like a hint of that. Like it smells amazing, and these scrubs look so cool. So last month I had an issue where I had a very hard time wanting to use mine because it just looks so pretty. Brittany does a fantastic job with these, and the scrub is more. The scrub on this is not as rough and gritty feeling as like the KBShimmer scrub. It's a little bit softer than that, and I'm guessing that's from the whipped properties. How I use this one, I use this one for manicures generally. I don't keep this one in my shower. I keep this one at my sink that I wash my hands in between swatches, so I use this before I do my swatches generally nowadays. And I really like it. It feels really good. I tend to exfoliate my hands several times a week, and this is feels a lot more gentle on my hands than the previous scrub that I was using multiple times a week. So I am really enjoying this one. So this whipped sugar scrub is priced at $9.50 for 2 ounces and has a cap of 50 bottles.
Next up is Bee's Knees Lacquer with Glisten. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I tried my best. This one is inspired by the egg face ghost of Korean mythology, and it's described as a lilac pastel multichrome that shades from a deep purple loaded with peridot metallic flakes. This is priced at $13 for 15 ml and has no cap. This polish was absolutely beautiful. So the metallic flakies in this are extremely metallic. So on the nail, I was mainly seeing the metallic flakies, and then I was seeing like a purple shimmer in the background. I want to stress that this polish is going to look drastically different depending on what light source you are using. Here I am showing it at my computer desk with a mess in the background. Here it is in natural lighting in the shade, and then again natural lighting in direct light. The way this one looks in different sources of lighting was kind of trippy, which is why I'm showing it in so many different ones. I did not find that any of these flakes dry down textured, but you still will want top coat to give this a nice glossy finish. This polish will be opaque in 2 to 3 coats depending on your own personal application. I use 3 coats for my photos and no issues with staining or removal. Next up is Cameo Colors Lacquers with Pyramid of Silence. This is inspired by Pyramid Head from the Silent Hill franchise, and it's described as a dusty taupe crelly base full of holographic sparkle, a variety of microflakes, as well as regular flakes, glitters, and holographic flakes. It's priced at $11.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 105 bottles. This had a beautiful crelly formula. I found the base color in this is like a cooler leaning taupe kind of shade. I wouldn't necessarily call it a nude per se, but it's kind of nude-ish, if that makes sense. All of the components spread out very evenly and easily on their own. You do not need to do anything special to get great coverage. Nothing in here will also dry down texture, but you will want top coat for a nice glossy finish, and this should not be overly difficult to remove. Next up is Colores de Carol with A+ in Monsterology. This one is inspired by the movie Monsters University and is described as a light celeste blue with neon glitters in various shapes and sizes. It's priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has no cap. This polish had a really great formula. It is also extremely packed with glitters. This didn't feel thick at all despite having so many glitters in it, but I will note you will want to go in for slightly thinner coats just to make sure that your nails don't get a little chunky looking, especially on the first coat. A trick for that is to just apply the first coat and don't really think about how many glitters you're getting out on the nail on the first coat, and then on the second and third coats then build up more glitter coverage. This polish does dry down slightly more sheer than it applies, so I would recommend doing 3 coats for this polish. You will also want to go in for 2 coats of top coat to completely smooth this one out. I did pair this one with the Glisten Glow glitter grabber, and then I went in with my usual quick dry top coat. Removal on this will be difficult if you try to scrub this one off, so I would recommend wearing a peel off base coat or soaking this one off with acetone. Next up is Color Spectrum Polish with Mermaid Myths. This polish was inspired by mermaids, and it's described as a rose pink with red shimmer, hollow, and purple to blue to turquoise shifting metallic flakes. It is priced at $12 for 13 ml and has a cap of 115 bottles. Mermaid Myths had an amazing formula. It did not feel overly thick or thin, and I did not have any application issues. I will note I did have a little bit of polish that runs down the stem of the brush a little bit. Nothing too bad. The polish did not feel like overly thin or anything like that. This is also just a beautiful, beautiful polish. I just love the base color paired with the shimmer and the hollow. This looks so beautiful. As you can see here, it is also very holographic. I think this one just looks so pretty. And the flakes in this are a little bit sparse on the nail. They do not dry down textured or anything like that. I do think this polish will likely be a solid 3-coater. It did have some very slight visible nail line, but I feel like I had to look for it in order to see it. Nothing in here will dry down textured or will be overly difficult to remove.
So Color Spectrum Polish will also have this amazing lip balm. I have reviewed this many times in the past. If you're new to the channel, this is my favorite lip balm to use. This is what I keep around the house. I love this stuff. This month's fragrance is very fruity smelling. So Shannon describes the scent on this one as a fruit parfait with melons with rainbow shimmer. Generally on the Color Spectrum lip balms, I don't ever really see like glitters or anything like that on the lips. And this one is like has a very light tint on it. Unless you have super pale lips, I don't think you're going to see much color on your lips. My husband will not let me try this on him, so I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I know for on my lips, I don't really see a color on here. So this lip balm is priced at $5. This is like a normal size of chapstick, and it has a cap of 45 tubes. This stuff is always amazing. I have noticed that this one always sells out, and for very good reason. This stuff is fantastic.
Next up, we have Crystal Knockout with Souls of Wind and Thunder. This is inspired by the Wild Hunt, and it's described as a dark blue/black base with a golden glow and matte white glitters in multiple sizes. It's priced at $11 for 15 ml and has no cap. This polish had a fantastic formula. It starts off on the more sheer side, so you're definitely going to want to build this one up for full opacity. The glitters all spread out very evenly and easily on their own, and I did not need to hold the bottle upside down or do any glitter placement to get good coverage on this. I found the base for this polish is like a grayish with like a bluish purplish kind of tint to it. It's a very beautiful color and very perfect for fall. The shimmer is also very strong, a very beautiful glow to it. I think this one's going to be a solid 3-coater. You will want to double up on top coat to get this perfectly smooth. I paired this with the Glisten Glow Glitter Grabber. Removal on this polish will be on the more difficult side due to all those glitters. I would recommend soaking it off. Next up is Be Prepared by Cupcake Polish. This one is inspired by Scar from The Lion King. This is described as a purple jelly nail polish filled with a red to gold iridescent shimmer, red to gold iridescent flakes, and a touch of holographic micro flakes. This is priced at $13 for 15 ml and has no cap. This polish is so beautiful. Sorry, this one had a wonderful formula. It did not feel overly thick at all despite having so much flakies in it. All of the flakes and shimmers, all the components in this purple base look so beautiful. I'm kicking myself for not including this in my favorites for the video. I don't know why I didn't include this in my favorites, but this is a top-notch one. Okay, so this polish had pretty good coverage in 2 coats. I did have some visible nail line, so I used 3 coats for my swatches here. Depending on the angle of my hand, I had some very, very slight visible nail line, even in 3 coats, but it was one of those things where it's only if the light is shining like underneath of your nail. I will note that the 3rd coat did deepen the color to what I was seeing in the bottle. I did not experience any staining or have any difficulty on removal, and this does not dry down textured. Next up, we have Fancy Gloss with Pegasus. Fancy Gloss was inspired by Pegasus, and this one is described as a blue one cold to a white one warm thermal polish with 2 different types of blue to green to indigo to aqua flakies, as well as some blue shimmer. This is priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 350 bottles. Pegasus had a fantastic formula. It did not feel overly thick or thin, and I had no application issues. The flakes all spread out very evenly and easily on their own. I found that this started changing on me right away. I found the warm state for this polish was such a very pale baby blue that it was skirting the line between white and like the palest baby blue you can get without being white. So this one had pretty good coverage in 2 coats, but it was just a little bit uneven, so I used 3 coats for my photos. Nothing in here will dry down textured or will be difficult to remove. Next up, we have Garden Path Lacquers with New Age Philosophy Major. This one is inspired by art from Monsters University, and it's described as a vibrant purple micro glitter polish packed with a red to orange aurora shimmer and matching iridescent aurora flakes. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has no cap. New Age Philosophy Major had an amazing formula. Like, this polish is next level glowy in person. Like, you all should have heard me while I was like, what? No. Yeah, this was really fun to swatch. All of the flakes and glitters spread out very evenly and easily on their own. The glitters in this are extremely small, so they will not dry down textured at all. I also did not have any issues with them gobbling up top coat. I only needed 1 coat of top coat to completely smooth this one out. This one is just so beautiful in person. Like, the Aurora Shimmer paired with those flakes, just, ooh, it's so beautiful. So this one is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your own personal preference and nail length. If you don't have much of a free edge, you could definitely get away with 2 coats. I found that I had a little bit of visible nail line in 2 coats, so my photos show it in 3 coats. I also swatched this one in 1 coat over a black cream just because I was curious, and wow. And next up we have Glisten Glow with Revive Your Monster. This one is inspired by the Monster Energy Drink Raspberry Tea, and it's described as a fuchsia jelly / crelly polish with various shapes and sizes of black, gunmetal, light gray, and silver hollow glitters. It's priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has no cap. Revive Your Monster had a great formula. It did feel somewhere between a jelly and a crelly polish. This one has a ton of glitter in it and it did not feel thick at all. I'm always surprised by this brand's crelly polishes because they never feel thick at all. All of the glitters spread out very evenly and easily on their own without needing to do anything special. I also did not need to hold the bottle upside down between coats. I think this one is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on personal preference. I am showing it in 3 coats. It was actually really passable in 2 coats. I feel like I was being just a tiny bit picky and I also just wanted more glitters out on the nail. This polish also glows under black light. So in 3 coats, I did have quite a bit of texture, so I did use the Glisten Glow Glitter Grabber before going in with my top coat. This will be on the more difficult side for removal, so I would recommend soaking it off or wearing a peel-off base coat. So Glisten Glow will also have a cuticle remover pen and their cuticle oil pen in the polish pickup this month. It's a duo set for $12 and has no cap. The scent for the cuticle remover pen is Fresh Apples. If you caught my review for the fall cuticle oils by this brand over on my blog, the Fresh Apple scent is the same from those as this one, and it smells amazing. It smells exactly like fresh apples. It does not smell like artificial apples. It smells like actual fresh apples. And then the cuticle oil pen smells exactly like caramel apples. Again, not artificial apples, actual apples in caramel, and they smell amazing. So I have been using the cuticle remover pen. I think this is like 2 or 3 weeks now I've been using it. So I use a cuticle remover pen like on a weekly basis pretty much. So I was really tempted to go into like a long thing on how your skin here is not your cuticles and how your cuticle is dead tissue on your nail plate. I was going to go into a long rant about how annoyed I get when people call your skin your cuticles. I won't do it, but just know your cuticles is dead skin on your nail plate. Yes, I know my nails look terrible. So how I use this pen, I just squeeze a little bit out and I just kind of smear it onto my nail plate where the dead cuticle skin would be. I also use liquid latex around my skin just to protect my skin from the chemicals. I don't think you have to do that. I just got into the habit of doing it years ago and that's what I do. And I let it sit for like 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds. And then very gently with an orange wood stick or a metal cuticle pusher, if you feel comfortable using a metal cuticle pusher on your nail, and then just gently kind of scrape that off of the nail plate. So I really like how this works. Previously I had been using the Sally Hansen, the little blue bottle, I forget what it's called, the gel, and I feel like this is very comparable to that, but it smells a lot better. It stays where you put it and it doesn't make a mess. Just make sure after you use it to wash your hands, because you don't want the chemicals that's hanging out in your skin. And don't cut your skin. Cuticles are on the nail plate, not your skin. And for the cuticle oil, I love this stuff. So Jill had sent me some of these like a month or 2 ago, and I have been using them religiously ever since. This one soaks in pretty quickly. I like it a lot. Just for the sake of time, I will link my blog post with a long review on these cuticle oil pens in case anyone wants to read it. But these are jojoba based. Jojoba is the first ingredient, and that's the first thing you want in your cuticle oil. Also, if you do any swatching or taking pictures of your nails, this actually comes in very handy as well. You can put this on, rub it in, and it soaks in pretty quickly so you're not looking like super oily. Next up is Hearts and Promises with Vampire Blood. This one is inspired by vampires and described as a dark pink when warm to a dark red when cold thermal polish with a sprinkle of gold flakes, rainbow iridescent flakes, and gold sparks. It's priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 300 bottles. Vampire Blood had a fantastic formula. It started changing on me right away. I found the warm state to be like a warm toned reddish pinkish berry leaning shade. I know that's like 5 million different shades put together, but that's what I wrote in my notes. It was like a pink leaning berry kind of shade, and the cold state was like an oxblood red type of color. So I swatched this one in 3 coats. I found in 2 coats it was still a tiny bit more sheer than I would like. If you go in for thicker coats, this might be good in 2 coats on you. I did not experience any staining with this polish, and nothing in here will be difficult to remove. And now we have Heather's Hues with Quite Frankly. This one was inspired by Frankenstein, and it's described as a violet base with a violet to pink to green to gold magnetic pigment, purple and blue metallic glitters, and multiple multichrome flakes. This is priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has no cap. This polish had a fantastic formula, not too thick or too thin. It is pretty opaque, so I'm going to be showing this one in 2 coats on all of my nails but the live swatch nail. I show this one magnetized. This one magnetized very easily for me. I used the ring magnet that I demoed a few videos back. The base for this polish is on the darker end of violet. I feel like it leans just a tiny bit blurple in some lighting as well. All of the flakes spread out very evenly and easily with no texture. This is pretty pigmented, so I would definitely suggest wearing base coat with this polish to prevent staining. I did not personally experience staining with this polish. Next up, we have KBShimmer with Rise Up. This one is inspired by a phoenix flying in the early evening sky, and is described as a slate blue crelly base with metallic flakes. It's priced at $11 for 15 ml and has no cap. Rise Up had a wonderful formula. It was a little bit thinner than I was expecting, but not like watery thin, just thinner than I was expecting for whatever reason. So the flakes in this all spread out very evenly and easily on their own. This is a very flaky, dense polish, hence why I was expecting it to be a little bit on the thicker side, but it was not. So the flakes in this are like a very fiery color, and they also have like a shift to a green and a gold color. Like you can see here, they're just absolutely stunning. So this polish had pretty good coverage in 2 coats. I feel like it was still just a tiny bit sheer, so I swatched this one in 3 coats. Nothing in here will dry down textured or will be difficult to remove.
Alrighty, so KBShimmer is also going to have their amazing sugar scrub in the polish pickup this month. The scent this month is described as Under the Sea. I will put a picture here of how the brand described this one, but what I'm smelling in person is like a fruity ocean breeze kind of scent. Yeah, just like very light on the fruity and sweet, but heavy on the ocean. Like this would be an amazing wax melt, honestly. But yeah, it smells so good. Like I could not stop sniffing it. As you can tell here, I cannot stop sniffing it. Like it smells really amazing. So I have reviewed this sugar scrub many times. So it is on one of the it's more coarse in comparison to like a whipped sugar scrub that I reviewed previously in this video. But to make it less coarse, you can definitely scoop a little bit out and add a little bit of water to it, and that'll make it feel a little bit less coarse. This is one of my go-tos for all over body and pedicures. I keep a jar of this stuff in my bathroom at all times. This would be my all-time favorite sugar scrub. If you are wondering what all this here is on the side, I've had this in the refrigerator. Generally, after I swatch or take pictures of one of these, I stick them in the fridge if I'm not going to be using it right away. I do keep many of these on layaway, basically. If you have previously purchased this one and had issues with it leaking, just know that it now comes with a heat-treated seal to keep it from leaking during shipping. This is priced at This is priced at $10 for 9.5 ounces and has no cap.
Next up is LynB Designs with Meowgical. This one is inspired by the mythical and fabulous Cuticle. It is described as a medium gray toned purple base with an intense pink to orange to green shifting shimmer and scattered hollow sparkle. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has no cap. Meowgical had a wonderful formula. It does start off on the more sheer side, so you're definitely going to want to build this one up for opacity. I think it'll be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length. I found the shimmer in this one to be very strong and color shifty. I was seeing pink, a gold/orangey color, green, and blue at extreme angles. The shimmer is more dispersed, so you will not get brush strokes throughout it. As I mentioned, this will be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length. I found for me, in 2 coats, I had pretty good coverage, but I had quite a bit of visible nail line, so I am showing this one in 3 coats. This polish does dry down dull, so you will want top coat for a nice glossy finish. Next up, we have Moonflower Polish with Spirit of the Forest. This one is inspired by dryads from the Greek mythology, and it's described as a dirty olive green base with a red to pink to gold ultra chrome flakies and copper shimmer. It's priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 100 bottles. Spirit of the Forest had a really great formula. It was slightly on the thicker side of normal, but I would not call it overly thick at all. It applied very nicely and buttery smooth. The flakies in this are very small. If I hadn't had the description in front of me, I would have called them like a more shimmer effect. I was seeing all of the described colors in person. This polish was opaque on me in 2 coats. Longer nails might need a 3rd coat to cover visible nail line. Nothing in here will dry down textured, but you will want top coat as this does dry down dull. Next up is MTK Designs with Owl Be There. This polish is inspired by Athena and her owl, and it's described as a sheer pale aqua when warm, to a bright aqua when cool, to a teal when coldest, trithermal, with lots of copper shimmer and sparkle. It's priced at $12 for 15 ml and has no cap. Owl Be There had a fantastic formula. The thermal aspect on this started changing on me right away. My hands were extremely warm the day I was swatching this one, so I had a very hard time keeping the polish cold enough to show all 3 color states. I found this polish to be exactly as how it is described. All of the colors are so beautiful. I do want to note this one is a bit more on the sheer side, so especially in the warm state, so you will have some visible nail line with it. If your nails have any kind of like dings or imperfections in them, I would recommend using a more opaque base coat just so you can't see them through the sheer state. You'll want top coat for a nice glossy finish as well as to bring out that shimmer. And next up is Music City Beauty with Medusa. This one is inspired by Medusa, and it's described as a green to black 5D magnetic polish with an orange to gold crystal flakies. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has a cap of 150 bottles. This polish had a fantastic formula. It is very opaque. This is opaque enough to be a 1 coater, especially if you don't go in with the magnet. So I used the ring magnet that I demoed a few videos back. I do want to note that the colors that I was seeing in this polish in person was like gold to green to like a bluish color at extreme angles. And for the flakes, if you don't magnetize this one, you won't see them as well as if you do. And that also goes for that black base. So nothing in here will dry down textured or will be difficult to remove. Next up, we have Amarok by My Indie Polish. This one is inspired by the Inuit legend. It's described as a bright blue with matte white flakies, peach triangles, and mini white stars. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml, and I do not think it has a cap. This polish had a really great acrylic formula. I found all these flakes and glitters and such all spread out very nicely on their own without needing to do glitter placement. I found that I did get a lot more of the glitters out on the nail when I held the bottle upside down between coats, but it wasn't completely necessary. You can see here I kind of found myself kind of just not doing glitter placement per se, but just kind of tapping a few things around just a little bit. But that's just me being like super anal. So this one is going to dry down pretty textured. I did go in for 1 coat of glitter grabber and then my quick dry top coat, but this one was such a fun polish. I loved all the glitters. Because of all those glitters, this will be on the more difficult side for removal. I would recommend soaking this one off or wearing a peel-off base coat. And next up is Native War Paints with Unicorn Club. This one is inspired by the brand owner's lifelong love of unicorns. This polish is described as a cyan to blue to purple to pink shifting shimmer with iridescent flakies and scattered holographic in a sheer indigo base. It's priced at $12.75 for 15 ml and has a cap of 200 bottles. Unicorn Club had a pretty good formula. It felt slightly on the thicker side of normal, but it applied very nicely, very evenly. This is a very shimmery and sparkly polish. In person, I was seeing mainly a blue to purple color shift. I feel like I was seeing like a hint of pink, but not a ton of it. I found in direct lighting, this one will give some pretty obvious visible nail line. In normal housing lighting, I wasn't really seeing my nail line, but like out here in the sun where you see all that holographic, I was seeing quite a bit of visible nail line. This polish is sheer enough that I would say this could be used as a topper as well. I was curious, so I also swatched this one in one coat over black. It was amazing. Nothing here will dry down textured or will be overly difficult to remove. You will want top coat just for a nice glossy finish.
Polish are these very cute earrings by Native War Paints. These are called the Unicorn Club earrings, and these are inspired by the brand owner's lifelong love of unicorns, which I can appreciate because I also love unicorns. So these are 1.5-inch chevron teardrops with a cyan to blue to purple to pink shifting shimmer, aqua to purple to pink shifting iridescent flakes with scattered holographic in a clear resin on rainbow metal hooks. These are priced at $10 for the pair, and they have a cap of 30 pairs available. I have been wearing these earrings quite a bit recently. I really like them. They don't feel heavy at all. I'll also be putting pictures up here. They don't feel heavy at all. My ears, they're not the most sensitive, but they do get pretty sensitive with costume jewelry. And I think I have worn these for about 5 or 6 days consecutively, and I have not had any itching yet. They feel very great. They're also very sparkly. Like, I feel like my lighting here is not giving them justice. And, like, if you shake your head, they blab your head a little bit. Blab. But they don't feel heavy at all. They don't feel weighted down, and I really am enjoying these earrings.
Next up is NeVerMind Apothecary with Flayer of Minds. This is inspired by the D&D Mind Flayer, and it's described as a creamy gray base with a red to purple duochrome color shift. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has a cap of 200 bottles. Flayer of Minds had a beautiful formula. It did not feel overly thick or thin, and I did not have any application issues. I found the base color is slightly on the darker side of the gray spectrum, and the shimmer in this, mainly I was seeing the purple. I feel like as I moved my hands around, I was seeing the red just a tiny bit more. I think this polish will be a 2 to 3 coater depending on personal preference. I'm showing it here in 3 coats, but I feel like I was being extremely picky. Like, I feel like it was perfectly fine in 2 coats. I don't remember why I did 3 coats, to be perfectly honest. So 2 to 3 coater depending on personal preference. This polish does dry down dull, so you will want top coat for a nice glossy finish, and I also was not seeing any brush strokes throughout that shimmer. And next up we have Night Owl Lacquer with Sasquatch sighting. This one is inspired by Sasquatch, and it's described as a brown linear holographic with a multi-chrome shimmer that shifts from a rosy bronze to copper to gold to green. It is priced at $13 for 15 ml and has no cap. This polish had an amazing formula, and the color shiftiness in that base is just amazing. So this one is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length. I am showing it here in 2 coats. I was seeing all of the described colors in person, and this polish is extremely holographic. This polish is so color shifty that you don't really see a ton of the base. You really just see that amazing color shift as well as that linear holographic. Nothing in here will dry down textured or will be difficult to remove. Next up is Pretty Beautiful Unlimited with From Ashes. This is inspired by the Phoenix. This polish is described as a black turd multichrome pigment base with black turd multichrome flakes, red and black holographic micro glitters, and crystal chameleon flakies. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has a cap of $190 for US and $10 for the UK. Just wow, this polish was so beautiful in person. This was so, if I didn't mention this polish in my top picks, I was wrong, because this one is just absolutely gorgeous. I think this polish will likely be a 2 coater for pretty much everyone. It was a little bit sheer in 2 coats, so I think everyone's going to want to do 3. Nothing in here will dry down textured or will be difficult to remove, but it does dry down flat, so you will want top coat for a nice glossy finish. Amazing formula, perfect application, just wow.
So the next product I have to talk about is by Pretty Beautiful Unlimited. This is their wax melt for this month. This one is called Scent Fire, and the scent description on it is Smoke and Wood Warm, a union of clove, amber, sandalwood, and patootie, light hints of fruit, musk, and leather. Subtle hints of marshmallow, honey, chocolate, and vanilla, polished off with tonalities of polished leather and fine bourbon. This is 2.5 ounces for $6. So this month's scent is perfect for fall. If you are like me and you like to have seasonally appropriate wax melts going throughout your house, this is for you. This one smells so good. So, ooh, it smells good. So the scents that I was getting for this one, definitely like a smoky, woodsy kind of scent. I feel like I was also getting a little bit of that patoochie. And there's like a sweet kind of scent, like it's marshmallowy, but not like overly sweet. This is a very like a very smoky, I don't know, it's very autumn smelling. It smells fantastic. I've got it in my warmer back there right now. The scent throw for these is fantastic. If you have fans or ACs going, I have found that all the wax melts by this brand that I have tried have done really well with having the ACs and fans going throughout the house. Smells amazing, fantastic, and I love the way the brand decorates the wax melts. They're really, really pretty.
Next up is Eyed Lacquer with Where'd the Crystal Critters Go? This one is inspired by the crystal foxes from Star Wars and described as a gray crelly with a silver to blue to green shifting flaky, as well as red to gold shifting shimmer. It's priced at $12.50 for 13 ml and has a cap of 150 bottles. This polish keeps making me sing that song, Where Did All the Cowboys Go? I've had that in my head ever since I saw the name for this polish. Anyway, this one had a fantastic formula. The base color in this is a very, very light gray. I wouldn't say it's so light that you would confuse it for a white, but it's very close. The flakies and shimmers just look so amazing in this base. For the flakies, I was seeing all the described colors as well as for the shimmer. I think this one is likely going to be a 3-coater for pretty much everyone to build up that nice opacity. If you don't mind obvious visible nail line, this is passable in 2 coats. It's just had a little bit sheer.
And the final non-nail polish item that I have is by Eyed Lacquer. This is their Balmer. This is in the scent You Desert It, and it is inspired by I'm going to put the name here because I can't remember how to pronounce it. So the scent description for this one is a warm blend of caramel, vanilla, and angel food cake. The scent that I get from this, I feel like I'm picking up something vaguely nutty and like a little bit of that vanilla. Like it smells like food. So it smells really good. But it's not, the fragrance is not overpowering at all. It's a very light fragrance. So this is priced at $7.50 for 1 ounce, and it has a cap of 100 containers. The brand does make note to not put this on your facial area, but this also has almond oil in it, so if you are allergic to nuts, I would avoid this one. But my overall review for this is really good. I actually have it on my hands right now. It absorbs very quickly, and I'm actually planning on trying this for swatch photos as well. Because it just absorbs very quickly, and I find that it does not look shiny at all. It looks very hydrated without being like greasy. I personally don't mind greasy, but I feel like for photos, no one wants to see my greasy fingers. But yeah, this is a very non-greasy formula. It absorbs very quickly without feeling heavy at all. So it's really great for your hands. Texture-wise, it's on the thicker side. If you have used the Heather's Hues Fluffer Butter Body Butter, this has a very similar texture to that. So yeah, it's thick. It's not going to fall out. I do want to note that when you apply it, it does kind of melt and warm up with your hands. So if you are somewhere where it's extremely hot, I would be careful picking this one up just so you don't have any oil spillage. Otherwise, fantastic product. I am very much looking forward to keep trying this one out.
Next up is Sassy Sauce Polish with Reptile Dysfunction. This one is inspired by a photo of a tattoo of Medusa, and it's described as an eggplant thermal that fades to a violet when warm. This also has a strong red/golden shimmer and blue to green to purple shifting ghost flakies. It's priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 400 bottles. Reptile Dysfunction had a wonderful formula. The name for this polish is just gold. I love it. So the thermal aspect of this polish for me changed right away. I think this one is going to be a really good thermal for people who don't like to get thermals because they do stop changing colors after a while. I feel like because this is a purple to a purple, it will be good for people who are a little nervous about jumping into thermals. The shimmer in this is absolutely gorgeous. The flakes all look so pretty. This one is going to be a solid 3-coater. And just a note, this one did stain the bejesus out of my hard gel. I had it on for about 24 hours. I would definitely recommend wearing 2 coats of base coat with this polish to prevent staining. My natural nails weren't stained, just my hard gel. Next up, we have Sweet and Sour Lacquer with Back to Nature. This one is inspired by Swamp Thing and is described as a multi-chrome magnetic micro flaky polish with shifting from a green to gold to copper to pink in a murky green jelly base paired with black flakies. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has a cap of 250 bottles. This polish had a fantastic formula, not too thick or too thin. I had 0 application issues. The flakes in this all spread out very evenly and smoothly, so this one I found did not dry down textured. One could have top coat smoothed it out completely. This is jam-packed with flakies, like a lot of flakies. I had no issues getting them magnetized using the ring magnet. On my thumb, I did swatch this one in 2 coats over a black cream. Just wow. Darlene really nailed the inspiration for this one. It made me want to watch that Swamp Thing TV show again. So this polish had pretty good coverage in 2 coats, but I did have a tiny bit of visible nail line, so my swatches show this one in 3 coats. Just to note, I did use the Sweet and Sour Lacquer quick dry top coat for my swatch. That top coat will be available this month during polish pickup. One thing I do want to note about this polish, if you are a messy polisher, cleanup will be a little bit on the messy side. So I would recommend using like a dry cleanup brush or some tape to clean off the flakies from your fingers. Removal on this polish will also be on the messy side if you try to scrub it off, but it will not be difficult. And the final polish is by Twisting Nether Lacquer, and it's called Beware the Kitsune. It is inspired by the kitsune and described as a white crelly base with a strong red shimmer, ruby red metallic microflakes, black stars, and matte red and black glitter mix. This polish will also come with a little baggie of star glitters. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has a cap of 200 bottles. This polish had a fantastic crelly formula. All of the glitters and flakes all spread very evenly and easily on their own. I did notice that you will get more glitters out on the nail if you hold this one upside down between coats. I was finding that I wasn't getting a lot of the star glitters out on the nail, so I ended up dipping into the little baggie of star glitters and just using some glitter placement to get them out of my nail. This is the method that I like to do for when I get polishes by this brand. They include a little baggie of glitters to apply the larger glitters between coats so that they're not like super textured on the nail when you go into top coat. You still likely will want to go in for 2 coats of top coat to completely smooth this one out. That is what I did. Also, this polish, it had pretty good coverage in 2 coats. It was a little sheer, so I'm showing it in 3 coats. If you don't mind visible nail line, you can definitely get away with only 2 coats with this polish.
Doing? Kit Kat. Say hi, Stormy girl. Say hi to everyone. I know, mommy's nail smells like polish.
This polish will be difficult to remove just due to all of those glitters, and the red shimmer in this is also very beautiful, but on the more subtle side.
Okay, so I am having a hard time once again this month deciding on what my favorites are going to be. I think my top pick this month is going to be the Garden Path Lacquers polish. I feel like that one was the one that I was like, oh my god, the most about while I was swatching it. But I also really like the Colores de Carol polish. The glitters in that were just so beautiful and fun. I really love the color for that one. The next polish that I was really just like about was the Night Owl Lacquer Polish Sasquatch Sighting. I thought that was just really fun, really beautiful. Also, I cannot forget to mention the Twisting Nether Lacquer polish as well as the My Indie polish. You all know I love chunky glitters, so those star glitters and those polishes were really fun for me. But all in all, I thought everything this month was really fantastic. Not a bad polish in the whole bunch. So I would love to know what everyone is planning on picking up for polish pickup. I have not yet done my wish list yet. I think wish listing went up a little while ago. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. And also apologies that last month I did not get my video up for my wish listing. I have it recorded. I did not finish editing it because by the time I was done editing it, well, not done, but doner. So yeah, sorry about that video not going up. I just feel like now there's no point in putting it up because it's old. I don't know. Let me know if anyone wants me to put up last month's wishlist video as well. I'm planning on doing one for this month, like right after I record this video. So yeah, let me know what everyone's planning on picking up. I'm getting ahead of myself, but just in case I want to know, for November polish pickup, it's gonna be good. I just started getting in polishes for November, and yeah. Gonna be another good month. So I will talk to you all in the next video. Thank you so much again for watching. Have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye!